Hey gang, John Backrell here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Thursday, March 27th. Water temperature at Belle Isle is back down to 38. It was at 44 this time last week, and it was kind of odd. I checked it this morning. It was 38 degrees, and I kind of figured by this afternoon it would have rebounded and bounced back up with the nice weather we had today and all the sunshine, and it was still stuck at 38. So I was kind of surprised at that. But I wouldn't let that water temperature bother you at all as far as fishing goes, because for the most part the fish have still been biting just fine, and the water temp's going to rebound here over the next several days, and I'll get to that when I talk about the weather. But doesn't seem to be a factor right now, other than maybe during activity periods for the daytime. A lot of times the fish will have a little higher activity when that water does rebound later in the day. But like I said, today it didn't even bounce back up, at least at the Belle Isle temp. So, but near shore, shallows, canals, all that kind of stuff, definitely the water temp will go up on a sunny day like this time of the year later in the afternoon. So, and usually get a little push of fish activity towards the end of the day. Really cool satellite image. I just checked it and didn't know if we were going to get one today or not. And we've had kind of cloud cover on and off during the day today, but really good satellite image. And one of the key things or key takeaways from this image is just look at how you've got the different water clarities on the lake all coming together and then mixing, going down into the Detroit River. And then you can also see that it's really clear, that water coming in from the St. Clair River coming down the main channel. So just kind of a cool image that shows how that lake tends to bring the various water conditions together and then mix them going down into the Detroit River. So and you can see that there's quite a bit of variability out there in the lake, with the water being really dirty over on that Canadian side, and then kind of a mixed bag over on the American side, depending on exactly where you're at. Update on the Crocker Road boat launch. I'm going to try to get important stuff out early on in this video this week. That Crocker Road boat launch, or Clinton River cutoff, the new one, the reports I'm getting is the mouth of that canal is like 1 foot or less right now. And if you try to go through there under power with your main engine, you will likely get stuck. So water levels are really low all over the lake right now. That's one that we knew was low last year, but it was passable. But now with the water down the couple of feet that it is right now from maybe what it was last year, it is not. So no, I haven't heard yet what they're planning on doing about that, if anything. But as of right now, I would steer clear of that Clinton River cutoff boat launch, unless you're like in a kayak or like a really small boat and you plan on getting in and out maybe with your electric. But for right now, I think that launch is a no-go until either our water level comes up or they do something down there at the mouth. I just saw a Facebook post as I was preparing to do the video this evening regarding a hydrocarbon spill up on the St. Clair River up near Port Huron. I looked at it for quite a while. I was trying to get more info, other than that they had, and this was on the Canadian side. I'm not sure if it's a ship or if it's a factory over there or what the cause is right now. It sounded like that they had equipment deployed to try to contain the spill over there. I don't know what kind of a hydrocarbon it is. That's kind of a broad term, but that's up on the St. Clair River. I'm sure there'll be more information coming out on it in the next several hours going into tomorrow. But just thought I'd bring it up so that if you folks want to do some investigation on it, you can do your own research. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you. If it's up there on the St. Clair River, it's all headed down our way. If it's not contained, it's going to end up in Lake St. Clair, and then it's going to end up through the whole system. So that's all I got on that right now. Feel free to go do your own research on it and see what you come up with. I'm sure there'll be more info in the next 24 hours. Talk about the fishing. St. Clair River is still going strong for mixed bags up there. both silverfish and walleye. Got some pictures from Tyler. He sent us these pics of recent steelhead and walleye that he's caught up there. Dylan Grubb with Extreme Outdoorsman. He's also been out there and he's showing off a couple of really good fish. So that bite up on the St. Clair River has been really good. Let's hope that this whatever just happened up there is contained and small and doesn't affect anything up there. Also heard of a huge walleye being caught up there. I believe it was 11 pounds, 8 ounces. I think it was last week in one of the tournaments or local events up there. So that is a big St. Clair River walleye. Man, when you get up over 10 pounds, that's a big fish. And that 11.8, that's a beast. We'll see if we see any like that down here on the Detroit River this year. Usually get some really good ones down there, but 11.8 up on the St. Clair, that's a really big fish. There's been kind of a on and off thing, and I know that's what I said last week as far as the perch bite in and around the store here, or even like all the American side. And I think it's got a lot more to do with just the weather and people being able to get out. We've had a lot of winds, and it's just been kind of goofy. I know guys have been catching fish. They've been catching some quality fish. It's just not been real consistent. And I think that's got a lot more to do with the temperatures and just the overall the weather that we've had. So hopefully that's going to pick up here, and it should pick up fast with this warm front that we got coming in for the weekend. Now, Spencer and Hayden, guys that work at our store, were just out today, and they were fishing the Canal system in and around the Lake St. Clair Metro Park, and they got in on some really nice bluegills today. Now, they didn't kill them, but they got some nice quality fish. Their problem today was finding cleaner water in that system. A lot of those canals are connected out to the main lake, and they actually funnel that main lake water through, and some of the bays and stuff around here, the water's pretty turbid, and so they had to find the right water clarity in order to really get in on those fish today. But they did manage to get some really nice gills. That bite is kind of going on along the whole lake. If you're a small boat fisherman or a kayaker, now is the time to get into these canals, marinas, backwaters, Harson's Island, a lot of these places. Without all the boat traffic and all the boats being docked already, you can get into these areas and have a really good day. And it's not necessarily just on panfish. There's a lot of big largemouths in the canal system as well. So you don't have to, simply target, bluegills, crappies, perch, the smaller species. You can also get in on some really nice largemouth fishing this time of the year with all the boats out of the water still at this point. So now's a good time to get in and take advantage of the access that you have to those areas. Detroit River still going strong. I mean, I shouldn't say still. It's going strong right now, and it's mostly big fish. You're not seeing a lot of those smaller males mixed in. We definitely haven't peaked by any stretch of the imagination. It's really just getting going down there. The traffic's going to get heavier and heavier and heavier as we go. So if you're into walleye jigging, get out and enjoy it now. And I mean, it's going to be going for the next several weeks. But some pictures from Colton, Ryan, and Justin showing off some of the big walleyes that they took down there on the Detroit River. This is the time for big hens. Okay, so if you're after just a whole limit of eaters, you may be disappointed because you're going to catch a lot of bigger fish right now. The big hens are definitely there. Usually those smaller, a lot of those, the hordes of smaller males that pile in on those hens when the spawn really gets going haven't really shown up yet, but there's some really super good quality fish. So if you're after a wall hanger, now is definitely the time to go, especially down in that Detroit River part of the system. And I mean, like the guys up on the St. Clair River are going up there too as well. Now, my buddy Mike Martin of Mike Martin Outdoors was out trolling down on Lake Erie, and they got some quality fish down there. And the reason why I bring that up is that that's not just the case down on Erie. Now, some of those Erie fish are probably staging to come into the Detroit River, okay? Some of those fish will spawn out there on the reefs, but we have the same kind of deal on Lake St. Clair. So you can fish the mouth of the Detroit River now. You can fish up through the mile roads. You can fish up on the north end. You can pull cranks. and you can catch walleyes doing that as well. You don't have to jig. So you've got all different fish through the whole system right now that are all in different stages. Although I don't think anything is post-spawn yet. In a few weeks, I'll be able to say they're in all different stages of the spawn. But you definitely have got pre-spawn fish kind of all over the place. And so you can pull cranks out in the lake on St. Clair and catch walleyes right now. Some of those fish may spawn locally out there on riprap or humps and different things like that. Some of those fish may be on their way to move up to the St. Clair River. But there's fish kind of everywhere. So you don't have to just simply jig if that's not what you want to do. You can still go out there and you can pull cranks and catch fish, as Mike Martin just proved out there on Erie. Now, looking at the weather going into the next 10 days or so, we've got a really good warm-up coming going into the weekend. We've also got some rain, got kind of variable wind. It's going to be kind of blowing from different directions. I got a little cool down coming next week, and then it looks like it's going to plateau into more seasonable temperatures. But the bottom line is all the weather that I'm looking at going forward are going to do nothing but increase the water temp. We don't have any kind of a little mini polar vortex or anything that I see on the horizon that they're forecasting. So water temperatures should increase. We also have some much needed rain coming. Now, one of the other things you want to bear in mind with that rain that we've got coming, if you're a cat fisherman, it looks like there's a couple of different days that they're forecasting over a ½ inch of rain, maybe up to almost an inch of rain. If we actually get one of those bigger rainfall events, that mouth of the spillway is going to turn on fast. So if we hit 70 degrees this weekend and we get one of those rain events where we get a ½ inch of rain, we get a couple of good thunderstorms and we get that water moving, you're going to see those kitties show up in force at the mouth of that spillway. So be watching for that big rain event for those catfish to get going. Also note that these warm rain events are also going to get everything going. If you're a sucker fisherman up there on the Clinton River, that'll probably get going in a hurry as well. And it'll also probably dramatically improve our near shore perch fishing too. So we've kind of been waiting to get a nice solid warm up and get that temperature spike and get some warm rain to really trigger these fish. And it looks like we may have that coming in the next few days. So with all that said, let's keep our fingers crossed that whatever happened up there on the St. Clair River with the hydrocarbon spill is contained and is a small event and doesn't affect all of us downstream. And, take advantage of the warmer temps we got coming our way. Get out and enjoy it, and we'll see you in the shop this weekend. Hey, gang, if you like our content, hit the little subscribe button and the bell icon, and you'll be notified as soon as we put out new stuff.